What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back here today to a reaction to my official 2021 NBA awards that I did end up uploading on May 20th, so before all the awards were announced over on my main channel. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. But we're going to be reacting to these, see if I was right about any of them, see if I was wrong about any of them, and we're going to be just, we'll give myself a grade at the end. Was I, correct? Was I wrong? Do I deserve a good rating on these? Did I predict them well? Because this is who I think deserved it, but also a prediction as well. I know I messed up my All-NBA first team because I listed Embiid as a forward, because apparently he was eligible, so I thought it was going to happen. But yeah, if you guys do enjoy these videos of me reacting to my old stuff, let me know by dropping a thumbs up. I will be reacting to my full NBA season predictions where I predict all the awards, players to get traded, coaches to get fired, playoff predictions, NBA regular season seedings. That will be done once the finals is over, so then we can kind of make my full assessment. Or I guess we could do it once the finals starts, because I think I did have the Bucks in the finals. So I could still be right on one of those. I actually think I had Clippers and Bucks. So I actually could be right still, but the Clippers are down 0-2 at the moment I'm recording this. I think you guys will see this on Friday the 24th, so they'll still be down 0-2. We'll know if the Bucks are up 1-0 or not on the Hawks. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed these videos, feel free to drop a thumbs up. We can get right into this. NBA regular season is over now.
Right, so
we
when
all
do I
know
get
that it's kind of
into
dumb
the
that they
awards?
won't.
Okay, so we can see MVP.
Really no
I was right, 1 for 1.
there. Throughout the season, it was mainly Joel Embiid's award, and then he got hurt, and that was when Nikola Jokic basically became the front runner for that award. He's somebody that has played every single game this season, so you got to give him some bonus points for that. He averaged over 26 points, 10 rebounds a night, while also averaging 8 assists as well, and shooting over 38% from 3 as a 7-foot big man. He was very efficient this year. I think he's somewhat of an underrated defender. People look at him and he's like, oh, he's slow. He can't play defense. He did lead the Nuggets to the 3 seed. They went 47-25, and that's also without their second best player, Jamal Murray, who tore his ACL. I think it's a no-brainer that Jokic will win this award. I know some people think it's Steph Curry. He is in my honorable mentions, but somebody that's right now the 8th seed. This is being recorded before the Lakers-Warriors play, and highest he could be is the 7th seed. It's just not going to happen. I was a big disagreeer with the whole Russell Westbrook thing a couple years ago because they were the 6th seed, but Curry is in my honorable mentions as well as Joel Embiid. If Embiid played 72 games or 65 plus, this would be a bigger competition. And also I have Giannis Antetokounmpo in here as well, who had a great season on both sides of the ball. But Jokic is my MVP, and Embiid, Giannis, and Curry are my honorable mentions. Next up, we have Rookie of the Year, another tough one because LaMelo Ball, like Embiid, got hurt throughout the year.
2 for 2.
He only played around 55 games. He played 51 to be exact. He averaged about 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, while also shooting 35% from 3. Now, unlike MVP, this one could go either way to my runner-up. So my runner-up is obviously Anthony Edwards, and if you guys gave, or if you decided to give Anthony Edwards Rookie of the Year, I'm perfectly fine with that. If it's LaMelo or Anthony Edwards on the award night, I won't be upset if either one wins it. Like MVP, I think it should be Nikola Jokic, and my runner-ups are just there just to give you guys some honorable mentions. But for Rookie of the Year, I think it can go either way with Ant or LaMelo. I decided to lean a little bit towards LaMelo because their team was at least in the play-in tournament, and he helped them at least have a chance at making the playoffs. The West a little bit more loaded and competitive, but still, Melo led the Hornets to the play-in tournament. Now, they were the 10th seed, so they ended up losing it, but he was, what, the second best player on that team throughout the year when healthy? Or I guess third behind Hayward and Rozier. Yeah, third best player. Next up is another tough one, probably the toughest one on this list, and it is Defensive Player of the Year. It's between two guys. You guys know who they are. You got Ben Simmons on the Sixers. You got Rudy Gobert on the Jazz, and it's kind of crazy because they play two different positions on the defensive side of the ball. Simmons more of a perimeter on-ball guy. Gobert more of the rim protector, court general of that defense. Now, if they had an interior defensive award player of the year, it'd go to Gobert. If they had a perimeter defensive player of the year award, it'd go to Ben Simmons. But there's only one defensive player of the year award.
Do I go to Gobert?
I've been back and forth the whole season.
I kind of forgot.
I even tweeted out yesterday or a couple days ago, I was on the Ben Simmons wave for Defensive Player of the Year, but I'm changing it. I'm going with Rudy Gobert.
3 for 3. 3 for 3.
Defensive Player of the Year award. Like I said, this one is so tough because they are both on the best teams in their respective conference. They're way better as a team defensively, the Jazz and the Sixers, when Simmons and Gobert are on the floor, but no shocker there. Gobert kind of leads the way in the advanced metrics. Obviously, Simmons will be steals and Gobert will be blocks, but you really can't look at those statistics anymore when deciding Defensive Player of the Year. I would say this one's even closer than Rookie of the Year. So
Wow,
I was like, yeah, if it's Anthony
that,
Edwards or LaMelo in Rookie of the Year, I don't care. I'm fine with either one, and it's same with Defensive Player of the Year. If Ben Simmons wins that award on the award show, I will be perfectly fine, and I'll be like, I know why he won that award. I'm going to say my Defensive Player of the Year is Rudy Gobert. I watched a couple more games, especially his good games against top 4 teams in the Western Conference, where I think he played really well, and there's going to be games where Embiid is going to cook him, or maybe Jokic is going to have a really good game on him. Yeah, like, you're in the NBA, it's not like you're a corner in the NFL and you can always shut down the top receivers. Players are always going to find ways to score, and then you can also look at some of Ben Simmons' games where guys get right by him every time, either off ball or on ball. Each guy has their flaws, but they also have their strengths. And like I said, I'm going to give the slight edge to Rudy Gobert, but if you take Ben Simmons, I'm perfectly cool with that. All right, Now we have an award where it's not too much of a debate.
4 for 4.
My most improved player of the 2021 season is Julius Randle of the New York Knicks. From 19.5 points per game to 24 points per game from last year to this year. He went from just under 10 rebounds a night at 9.7 to 10.2 this year. The big improvement was his passing game. He went from 3.1 assists to 6 assists a night. And probably something bigger than his passing.
And he'll be on the Shanghai Sharks next year.
He took about 3.5 threes last year. He hit about 27% of them. Not good. He took over 5 threes a night this year. Yeah, he jumped up about 1.5 threes a night. And he shot it at a 41% clip. Yeah, he went from 27% from 3 on lesser volume to 41% from 3 on a higher volume. That's kind of mouse. He also improved drastically as a free throw shooter, going from 73% to 80+%, and while also taking more free throws this year. And he also helped lead the Knicks to the 4 seed. He was an all-star, probably going to make an All-NBA team, kind of spoiler for my All-NBA teams. And when I give my awards out, I like to give some credit to the players that help their teams make the playoffs, and that's what Julius Randle did. He's my most improved player. There was one runner-up, and that was Jeremy Grant. You could make a case for guys like Jason Tatum.
Wait, it's Jeremy. For a second, wait, Jerry? No, Jeremy.
But we kind of expected this jump from him. Or guys like Jaylen Brown, same thing. We expected this jump. You had a Chris Boucher jump. That's pretty cool. Also, Mikal Bridges. My runner-up was Jeremy Grant of the Detroit Pistons. Christian Wood would also be in here if he played more games. Next up, we have 6 Man of the Year. And I think we can go to 2 different players on the same team, the Utah Jazz. My 6 Man of the Year is Jordan Clarkson. I think you could also give some love to Joe Ingles, Derrick Rose, Tim Hardaway Jr. this year. When he averaged 18 points a night, he shot 35% from 3. Clarkson's my 6 Man of the Year. So Coach of the Year also joined Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year as like the toughest awards
this is
to
close.
give.
Do I go 6 for 6?
LaMelo and for Rookie of the Year. It can be Ben Simmons or Gobert for Defensive Player of the Year. Now, I don't know if that's the official Coach of the Year that was announced, that Woj announced the other day, or that's just like a coach's panel and they agree on it. But if it's the Coach of the Year, I'm still going to give mine. So mine was Monty Williams, but you could go Tom Thibodeau. He's my very close runner-up. And you can make an argument that the Suns were supposed to be good.
I was so close. I should have just went with my Knicks guy, you know?
Good, because they acquired Chris Paul throughout the offseason, one of the best leaders and ceiling raisers and floor raisers in the NBA. Like, it was kind of a no doubt that the Suns were going to make the playoffs this year, so we kind of already knew this, but I do think that they overachieved becoming the 2 seed. Now, for the Knicks, everybody predicted them to be a bottom 3 team in the Eastern Conference, including me. I had them as like my 14th seed, and they shocked everybody and became the...
You'll see that in my full season prediction.
4th seed, with a roster that isn't that talented when you look at it. Alec Burks, Reggie Bullock, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Nerlens Noel, they're all playing at an extremely high level for what they can do compared to last year. So you got to give Tibbs props for that. So if it was Tibbs that was Coach of the Year, I would have been like, yeah, he deserves it. If Monty Williams, if that's the official award, I'm like, yeah, he deserves it as well. It could go either way, like Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. I give the slight edge to Monty Williams because the Suns were an elite team this year, and the Knicks were, I wouldn't say an elite team, they were in the next tier down. So that's why I was like, okay, if Tibbs is the winner, I'm perfectly fine with that. And then finally, we have Executive of the Year. My runner-up was Daryl Morey of the Philadelphia 76ers, getting off the Al Horford contract by only giving up one.
So it ended up being James Jones. I don't even think I mentioned him, which is dumb on my part.
They got
for campaign, for Chris Paul, obviously, Jay Crowder. Yeah, I messed up.
Danny Green, who will be in their playoff rotation. They acquired Dwight Howard in the offseason. He's been a solid backup center for them. They got George Hill throughout the trade deadline this year. Drafted Tyrese Maxey as well. I think Daryl Morey had a fantastic first year as the president of basketball operations for the Philadelphia 76ers, but I gave Executive of the Year to Sean Marks. This is KD and Kyrie's first year playing together. It's KD's first year playing together, even though he acquired them in 2019, but he traded for James Harden, a top 7 player in the NBA that's going to make the Nets most likely finals favorites in the Eastern Conference when you're looking at betting odds, with a big 3 of Harden, with KD, with Kyrie. He also picked up LaMarcus Aldridge throughout the year. Jeff Green was a great pickup, and also Blake Griffin as well he got throughout the year.
Bruce
So
Brown,
I'm going to give Executive of the Year to Sean Marks, with Daryl Morey being a close runner-up. So now we're in the All-NBA teams, and oh boy, these were tough. So I'm going to go through these fairly quickly.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised James Jones got it over Sean Marks. Because if you're looking at, like, what they did, both ended up being the 2 seeds. Marks added James Harden. I won't count KD and Kyrie. Marks added James Harden. Jones added Chris Paul. Marks also added Bruce Brown. Wait, I guess Blake Griffin and Aldridge isn't that impressive, but Bruce Brown and Jeff Green, while Jones added Jay Crowder and Campaign, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody out there. I don't know the voting, but I wonder if Sean Marks was a very close second. I'm actually kind of curious to see the coach or the Executive of the Year voting. But, it was James Jones by a wide margin. So let's go on here to All-NBA first team.
I kind of went to the awards a little bit more. But oh boy, there's a lot of honorable mentions, and I'm going to explain kind of my thought process for some of these. So my guards for my All-NBA first team were fairly easy. Steph Curry was an undoubtedly unanimous guard number 1 spot.
Sure I'm right.
The second guard I gave it to was Luka Doncic, but you could have also gave some love to like Damian Lillard and Chris Paul and maybe even Kyrie Irving. But I ended up going with Luka. My forward 1 spot was so easy to make. It was Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, I was reading something, and this is what I'm going off, that Embiid
This is where I messed up, and it affected all my All-NBA awards. I put Embiid as my forward 2 spot, because apparently he was eligible there.
Eligible for All-NBA first team. Because we know that there's 1 center spot. There's been 2 elite centers this year in Jokic and Embiid. And we all thought maybe one of them was going to be left off. I don't know how Embiid is forward eligible, but Liberty Ballers, this is like an article they made, explained how he is. So I'm going to go off that, and I'm going to think if that is the case, Embiid deserves to be on first team. Maybe this is a wake-up call to the NBA that the All-NBA teams and defensive teams should be positionalists like all rookie teams. And so we can have like the top 2 players in the league this year at some time, like Jokic and Embiid, on first team without having to create some crazy loophole. So yes, Embiid is my forward spot number 2, or 1, however you want to go about it, and Jokic is my center spot number 1. So my All-NBA first team, you got Curry, Luka, Giannis, Embiid, and Nikola Jokic. On to my All-NBA second team.
Alright, so I'm like putting Kawhi, take out Embiid.
We got Chris Paul. He's led the Suns to a 2 seed. This was fairly easy. Maybe doesn't have the greatest statistical resume out of most guards on this list, but what he's done for the Suns, I couldn't keep him off All-NBA second team. And like I said, especially for All-NBA teams, like everybody on my All-NBA teams have made the playoffs. Besides technically Curry, because we don't know if the Warriors are going to be in it yet, because I'm recording this about 3 hours before that game starts. But yeah, like I said, Chris Paul, I'm giving him some love for getting the Suns to the 2 seed. Damian Lillard, also another guard spot.
Right.
Pretty easy decision
That was easy.
Kawhi Leonard did miss a lot of games. He's making
Alright, I had Kawhi on second team, not first team. Messed up
also,
there.
speaking of missing a lot of games, if the players did not play 50 or more games...
That's why I didn't put LeBron. LeBron was on All-NBA second team in real life. I didn't put him on any list.
Be making my All-NBA list. I wanted them to play at least 69% of the games. I'm so immature. But that's just how it turned out to be, 50 divided by 72. So that means like James Harden, LeBron James, they will not be making my All-NBA list. But yeah, Kawhi gets the forward number 1 spot. Julius Randle of the New York Knicks gets that number 2 spot. If the Knicks were maybe the 8th seed, I don't know. Randle would maybe be on third team or off the list completely. But the fact that he led them and being by far the best player on this team to the 4 seed, you got to give him credit for that. And then since Embiid and Jokic were on All-NBA first team, the center spot for All-NBA second team is going to be Rudy Gobert.
So I believe he was third team. I messed this up completely by putting Embiid there.
My defensive player of the year. And then All-NBA third team, we got spot number 1, Kyrie Irving as a guard. He was 50-49 this year.
Okay, was
he
right
played,
there.
I think, around 54, 52 games, so he makes the cut. Paul George, the second guard spot, he had a fantastic year on both sides of the ball. He was very efficient.
Damn, I aced my guard spots. I went 6 for 6.
People like to hate on Pandemic P, Playoff P. We'll see which one we're going to get in the playoffs, but this is a regular season award, and he's making my All-NBA third team. Jason Tatum is getting that other forward spot.
He did not make it. Very shocked he didn't, but he did not make it.
Proves why he should get in. I know it's a regular season thing, plans more of the playoffs, but still, Tatum was phenomenal this year. The Celtics dealt with a lot of injuries and a lot of COVID issues, and Tatum is going to be making that spot. And then the other forward spot is going to Jimmy Butler, who arguably had the best year of his career. And then since we already have Embiid, Jokic, and Gobert off this list because we got Embiid and Jokic on first team, Gobert on second team, I had to put another center in here. So Bam Adebayo is getting All-NBA third team for me. That's just how this list ends up. Now, if Embiid if Embiid's on All-NBA second second team, Gobert will be third team, and then this is completely wrong on my part. But for me, I'm going to slide an Embiid at the forward spot because apparently he's qualifying for it. So that means we're going to have Gobert on second team, and I had to give another center at third team, and I gave it to Bam, who also had a very good year on both sides of the ball. So those are my All-NBA teams. I had a bunch of honorable mentions. Harden was one of them. Obviously, I said that he didn't make it because he didn't play 50 games. Also, Zion Williamson, Bradley Beal. Wanted to put Bradley Beal on here because he had a fantastic scoring season, one of the best we have seen in a little bit. He ended up as the second leading scorer in the NBA, but his team didn't make the playoffs, so that's why I gave PG.
Yeah, this was dumb when I said this because they ended up making the playoffs. This is during the play-in tournament, so this was dumb. I apologize.
The better edge on All-NBA third team over Beal. Russell Westbrook, also an honorable mention. He had a very good second half, but not the best first half. Donovan Mitchell didn't make the cut because the guard competition was so good. It came down between Donovan Mitchell, another honorable mention, and Devin Booker, or Kyrie Irving for that last guard spot. And then also Zach LaVine didn't make the list. He's an honorable mention. And Drew Holiday as well. Drew Holiday really wanted to put on this list. And if he makes it over Paul George or Kyrie Irving, I'd be like, all right, I could see why. He was phenomenal this year. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions. Now let's get on to the old defensive teams. Very tough as well. Like, so tough.
I think I aced defensive first team, but second team I messed up on.
There's only one center spot each side. So my All-NBA first team guard spots are Ben Simmons and Drew Holiday. Fairly easy ones for me. Ben Simmons is my number 2 in Defensive Player of the Year, and Drew Holiday is my number 3 player in Defensive Player of the Year. Also, my number 4 in Defensive Player of the Year is still on the Bucks in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Forward spot number 1. Draymond Green gets forward spot number 2 on all defensive first team, and Rudy Gobert, who's my Defensive Player of the Year, is obviously going to be my starting center on my all defensive first team. And then all defensive second team, it's kind of fun. Like, I don't know if any of these guys are going to make it, but I thought these guys deserve some all defensive second team credit. First one is Lou Dort. Shout out to second year players making all defensive second team. And speaking of second year players making all defensive second team,
I was right
also
here.
Matisse Thybulle in my forward one
for
spot.
2.
Marcus Smart takes home the guard number 2 spot.
He didn't make it, which I was very shocked. I do get Jimmy Butler right.
Number 2, and Joel Embiid.
And Joel Embiid. So Embiid was on it, but so was Bam, and so was Kawhi. So you take out Smart and you take out Dort, you add Bam and Kawhi.
So I went 3 for 5. Team, we got Lou Dort, Marcus Smart, Matisse Thybulle, Jimmy Butler, and Joel Embiid. Have a bunch of honorable mentions. You got Bam Adebayo, you got Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Clint Capella, Nerlens Noel, Robert Covington, and Kawhi Leonard. I would not be surprised if any of those guys made all defensive second team.
I would have been surprised if Nerlens Noel made it. What am I kidding?
Finally, all rookie teams. These are a little easier to make because there's no positions and you don't have to abide by positions. So first 2 spots were very easy. LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards. Actually, first 3 spots were really easy because you also put Tyrese Halliburton in there, the consensus number 3 rookie in the 2021 season. I also have Emmanuel quickly making that. I don't know if that's a Knicks spot.
Was wrong there. And ended up going to Sadiq Bey.
But I think he deserves at least some all-rookie first-team votes, and he would make it in my eyes. And then the last spot on all-rookie first-team is Jayshawn Tate. What a story he is coming overseas from the playing for the Rockets. They had a very down year, but he was one of the few bright spots for the Rockets this year. So that is my all-rookie first team. And then my all-rookie second team, this is so tough. I ended up with Desmond Bane, Sadiq Bey, Patrick Williams, Isaiah Stewart, and Cole Anthony.
Okay, so I got Bane, I got Stewart, I got Patrick Williams. So the only thing I messed up on was it was Isaac Okoro over Cole Anthony. Because you got just swap quickly and Sadiq Bey. So yeah, it was Okoro over Cole Anthony.
So Kenyon Martin Jr.
So yeah, I'll take my honorable mentions.
Isaac Okoro, Teo Maledon, Peyton Pritchard, Tyrese Maxey, and Chimo Kiki as honorable mentions. So yeah,
that is going to be it for me. That was funny there. But I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if you did. Let me know down below what you like, if you enjoyed it or not. And I think I'm going to react to like my 2020 mock draft. Yeah, I think I might react to that soon. I think I want to see how well I did compared to what actually happened in real life and just hear what I said about those players. So yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one.